Now let's take a look at creating page templates. So first we'll create a new site. We'll call it Intensify. And on the Page Templates tab, you can find the URL to the SFTP location. You can use any editor that supports SFTP, Dreamweaver, Visual Studio Code, Sublime. I like Visual Studio Code, so we'll use that for the demo here. I'll click on the extensions and add the Remote FS extension. It has tighter integration for SFTP. It lets me load an SFTP folder as if it was a local folder in the computer. So I'll click Install here. And now I'll need to go to Preferences to configure the connection. JSON. Now I'll go to the Explorer and go to the command palette to add that SFTP to the workspace. So I'll pick that remote site and I'll put in the password for my user. And there we are, we're connected. Now let's take a look at that template we're going to create. So we're starting out with an existing HTML template. This one is called Intensify by Templated. It has 3 files in the root folder, one full width template, one content page, and then this element page that has a lot of different layouts on it. So what we'll do here is let's take these files and drag them over to extract them into our SFTP. So let's just take these and extract them into the root of the site, which is that Intensify subfolder. Are you sure you want to copy folders? Yes. So now it's copying all those files to the SFTP. All our jsHarmony templates are going to be under the templates folder. The page templates are under the pages subfolder there. So we'll take these page templates and drag them over to the pages subfolder. And now we'll go back to the CMS. We'll check out that Intensify site. And back on the site tab, you should see them now under the Page Templates tab. If we go into edit one of these, like let's say we go to the developer preview for the content template. Now it's going to pop up right in the editor for you. Yeah, the first issue we have with the template here is that none of the styles are applied. So let's take a look to see what might be happening. So the problem looks like that we have to modify the URLs to be root relative. So this is something you'll want to make sure you're doing in all your templates, that all your URLs should be relative to the root of the site as opposed to relative to that page. So I'll make the changes here. Very great. Save it. Refresh. Okay, looks like at least it's loading up properly. So now we actually have to fix all those errors. So the first error that we have up here, take a look. It says missing heading / title element. So we need to add the CMS title attribute to the title element. So we have this H1. We'll just add CMS title to it. Save it, refresh. Now the title is editable. Next, we need to add the content editor attribute to the body element. So we'll go ahead and do that. So this, it looks like there is no separate body element, so we'll have to add one. So we'll add a div here for the body. Indent those. Add a closing div here. Yeah, the problem is that the H1 for the heading was mashed together with the body div. So now let's refresh. And there we go. No more errors there. And the heading is editable and the body is editable. Let's also add a config section to this so we can give a nice title for the template. Because right now in the on the site tab, you see this shows up as just this generic title. So let's give it a better title. So here in the head tag, we can add a tag for CMS page config. And this is going to be a JSON. Just give it a title attribute. We'll call it content. Now save it and refresh. Now it gives us the name content instead of just generic. Now, if this was a simple template, that's all you would need to do. If we go back to this template, though, you'll notice there's one more area that we need to make editable. So if you just have one content area, all you have to do is add that. You have to add that CMS content editor attribute here, and then you should be good to go. But since there are two content areas, we need to actually define our content areas. So we'll add the content elements tag to do that to the CMS page config. So first our body that we already have defined. This is a HTML editor area, and we'll give it a title of body to make it clear. And then we'll also add that subhead here. So this, instead of being an HTML editor, will make the type text so that you can't insert more advanced components into there. It will just be a simple text area. And then down here, we'll make that subhead editable. So see how that looks. Okay, looks good, works great. Now next, let's add some page properties. So here under page settings, there is no properties tab yet because we haven't defined any properties. So we'll add some properties so that the user will be able to change the CSS body class and the body style. So we'll go here, properties. Save that. And now if we refresh, let's see, there's an error in my JSON. Looks like I'm missing a comma somewhere. Oh yeah, I'm missing the closing bracket for the fields. So I'll save that, refresh. And now under page properties, yeah, we have these two new fields. They're not linked yet to anything on the page, so let's do that next. So to do that, we'll add an render tag here. So on render, we'll apply the class, the add class render function. Save it, refresh. Now if we go to the page properties, and let's say we add a body style, border 10px solid red. There we go, it's applied right into the page. Now let's add a couple more advanced properties. So let's add some properties to show and hide the title and subtitle based on a checkbox. First we'll add those checkboxes to the fields. So I'm setting the default value to yes, so that it'll be shown by default. And now I'll copy and paste that for subhead. Let's take a look and see how they're rendering. Okay, great. So we have the two checkboxes, and now we'll have to connect them to the page template. So here again, we'll use that onRender function, CMS onRender, show if page.properties, show title. It's not equal. And similar code for the subhead. We'll show subhead is not equal. Save that. Refresh. And now if you go to page settings, page properties, we can hide the title, and we can also hide that subhead, or any combination of those two. Some other things you can do in the config here, you can change the position of the toolbar. So like we could do options, page, toolbar. See how that's going to look. Yeah, so you can have the page toolbar coming out of the bottom. You can check the documentation on the jsHarmonyCMS.com site for all the different options there. So last thing we'll do, let's go ahead and create a new page using this template now that we have it defined. So we'll go to Pages. It wants us to create a new revision. So let's create something off master. So initial setup, and we'll add an about page using our new content template. You can double click to edit, and there we go. Go right in and start making changes.